Hey rat bags, it's Jade. I'm back with another Let's Play. Today we are finally going to locate Wendell's scab and progress the story in Grounded 1.0 content. Now I'd recorded this as a live stream after I'd completed a bunch of the other dungeons, but I forgot to record my voice. So you're going to just hear me narrate and give a little guide to quickly going through the pond, because that's the last chip we need. If you don't know, you need all 4 super chips from the main laboratories of the hedge, the haze, the black ant hill and the pond to progress the story. Spoilers, obviously, duh. And yeah, once you've got that done, you need to locate Wendell's scab. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Pretty much after this video, it'll be all brand new 1.0 content, more or less, taking a look at the upper yard and more. So I can't wait to finally get this done, because I want to show you all the new stuff I've been experiencing in Let's Play format. Not confusing at all. Go and check out the rest of the videos I've already done, and look out for all the guides I've already done, and let's go. Also, FYI, I'm an absolute don here. I suck at combat, but for some reason the power was in me and I just wrecked these two before triggering another cutscene when we went for a sleep.
Dr. Schmechter, these...
Director
Schmechter. These specimens are the breakthrough we've been looking for, just like you predicted. We're close to eliminating the raising problem. Our team was up all night recalibrating the spacer.
I see. Of course, my hypothesis was correct. I hope all of you remember this moment the next time you question my methods. Now then, what progress has been made on covalent space expansion? How did Dr. Wendell Tully, a lifetime failure, best the brightest minds at Ominent?
Yes, sir. We're still working on that formula. I know it's been months, but the embiggen process is far more complicated and dangerous than we predicted.
Too bad for you, little ones. Prepare the specimens for termination.
This isn't what I signed up for.
That out of the way, we went into the pond. I went down the opposite way this time, which I don't often do, as normally I'm doing like a guide anyway. I normally go in from the main entrance near the T-Rex statue, but you can actually go through the other entrance, which is by the Franken line. It's pretty dark down here. Regular Grounded fans will know the way that I'm talking about, so you do want to make sure you bring a slime lantern. Otherwise, if you go the other way, it's actually lit up a little bit better. Nothing's ever smooth. Of course, I got attacked by the diving bell spiders, but we took care of them pretty quickly and easily with my little nut dagger here I've got, which I absolutely loved. I totally upgraded it. Yes, I know the spider dagger's better, but for now, this little bone dagger's been good for me. Remember, you get oxygen from killing them as well, so don't pass up the opportunity, especially when going through here. Even with a breathing stick, it is still a bit of a challenge. We made it to the pond depths and the broken laboratory in the water and swam through. Quite a bit of time to spare, managed to put a hand on the biometric scanner and gain access at last to the underwater laboratory. While I listened to a story of Wendell talking about cabbage or Brussels sprouts and how the family absolutely hate them except him, we went and turned on the first breaker that we need to get power so we can go through the moonpool door. All the dungeons got reset, of course, so we had loads of loot, but I wasn't really bothered about that. I just wanted to get this chip quickly as I was live streaming it and wanted to get some of the good new stuff. One good new thing is I'm showing you all the changes. In the actual pond laboratory now, they've turned off the fan. This fan used to be blowing all the time and it was a pain in the butt. There'd be only like a few seconds in between it going that you'd be able to get across. So they've turned it off, so it makes it a lot easier now. And we got this, one of the best brand new trinkets or Ominent badges. Don't pass up on it, it's in them bones just before you turn on the first breaker in here. It basically gives you gas and guard against dust, so you won't have to wear an actual gas mask anymore. It does mean you're more susceptible to poison, but there's not many poisonous creatures you'll come across, only if you're really super unlucky. So really good ones to have in your backpack whenever you're going anywhere near the haze or dealing with anything like stink bugs or even dust mites. I've done this pond a billion times in terms of guides. It was one of the oldest ones they added, so it was quickly back to get ourselves some air. If you're finding this difficult, make sure you go ahead and craft yourself some of the fins. They all make you go through the water a little bit quicker, and you can craft a bunch of different potions that will also give you extra breath as well. I just about made it there. Took care of this ARC inside using the pinch whacker. Sadly, this was before it was nerfed, so it's no longer an axe, it's just a regular blade. It's still pretty good though, I've been using it still, and I still think it's a decent weapon. Then it was back out again to turn on the breakout number 2, probably the easiest one, and you'll probably come across this if you've come from the opposite way past the T-Rex mouth. I do recommend you go back and get some more air before going to get the third and final breaker, but I decided I was Billy Big Balls and we went over and did it. So with all 3 on, you should be able to go straight into the moon pool now, but I went into the old area first. The doors will open up as you get a bit closer, and we're in. And that's really it in terms of changes, just literally having the fan turned off and the ability to get that toxicology badge there in the skeleton. Nothing else really has changed in the pond lab, except for maybe a tiny bit when we go and actually turn the power on. There's a few little notes changed, or there's a brand new tape. So into the dark trench and doorway to get into the other part of the laboratory, and it is very dark in here. And don't forget obviously to get the scraps of upgrade material that are on the floor. There should be a couple nearby too. And then once that's done, we've restored power to the main part of the laboratory now. When you do that, it does open up all the doorways, of course, like always, where you'll get attacked by more tased Ts, as well of course as a arc arm as well. This guy was being particularly challenging and difficult as he decided to just mooch about in the water and would not stand still for me to hit. I had to jump back in the water at one point to try and actually get him to finish him off. But him defeated, we only had a couple more now in the main dome area and we were done. At this point, honestly, these guys were just no problem to me. Grabbed some more story and some more upgrade resources, and filled our backpack with as many of the muscle sprouts as I could carry. And we finally got it. We got the pond super chip and turned on the power. There's lots more to do in the pond. I'm going to be doing a fresh guide showing you all the other little locations, some old, some new, that you want to explore. But definitely head towards under the pagoda once you've got the assistant manager's keycard. There's a bunch of loot in there that you can get. I did need to get eaten by Trudy at the last minute, which wasn't fun. Absolutely no idea how I didn't get much there, which definitely pushed me away. So back to Burgle, hand in the chip. And then that was it. It was time to locate Wendell's scab in the upper yard. So I went back to base quickly, dumped off a bunch of the loot that I'd picked up. Now it was time to get on top of the table where Wendell's scab would be. We'd been given a replacement battery by Burgle, so you should receive that when you're going up here, and it should have the quest marker. So if that hasn't happened, make sure you've handed in all 4 of the super chips. Clambered up the BMX and then ran across the shed. The hose runs pretty much all the way across the shed deck, but we are going straight up here on the baseball bat. So yeah, make sure you bring some sort of tuft with you. And FYI, there's a little bit of raw science on the other side of this metal grate in here normally, but I'd already picked it up. Jump on top of the hammer and one more final leap onto the table. Now rip here, there's nails inside the ashtray and you need them to make the final concoction so that you can basically quit and finish the game, or go ahead and make one of the brand new weapons. But I forgot to harvest them. I did get some of these though. Obviously they've added in the autumn update, so we've got now candy corns. They've got a random chance of spawning in place of the others. They're just food, they're a little event thing they add in every autumn for Halloween. There was one of the new sound wormholes though, so I'll be using them to augment a lot of my weapons in future. And we did it. We could turn on Wendell's scab by knocking the back of the battery compartment open with a busting tool, tier 3, replacing the battery. Alright, it wasn't a battery, it was a fuse, but you get the idea, then pressing the button. So it looks like there was a little bug, and basically Wendell tells the story of how he's retreated and tried a bunch of different stuff to make himself big again without being super old, but it doesn't seem to be working, and it's basically goodbye to his family and anyone that finds the tape. While it played, I hopped down and got some more of the lint, as you're going to need a ton of that for later gear. And I went and had a quick check to see if anything else had changed on the deck. Other than obviously the Mantis arena being added, nothing else really. Although there is a better, easier way now to get to the termite hill. Around the back of the wood, there is a direct path now to the wood pile. You don't need to do any parkour or jump up high. Also, knowing there was a hot dog trinket, I decided I wanted to go and see if it would drop, and it meant me taking on every black ant in the game, I swear. Honestly, I was getting a bit too big for my boots, but I managed to take them all on, switching to use the pinch whacker. It seemed to be doing pretty good as well. Sadly though, by the time I'd actually finished them off and then harvested the hot dog, no, there was no hot dog trinket from it. Some of the food drops only have like a 1% drop chance, so you need to harvest a whole bunch of them to never pass up an opportunity. It will replenish your food by taking away a little bit, I think, of your health. And that's pretty much it. The next episode I will go over to the termite hill and we will pick up the termite chip so we can start making the wizard's hat and all the staves or staves. And yes, it's pronounced staves. Look it up, people. In the English dictionary it is anyway. And hopefully if you're an old player, you now know what to expect if you go and revisit some of the old areas. And if you're a new player, a little heads up. I will have better guides, new ones coming, or go and check out some of my older ones, as they're still pretty valid with only a few changes for a lot of the dungeons and areas where you get the super chips. Until next time, rat bags, I'll catch you later.